Hello and a warm welcome back to the garden. In this video we're going to be sowing zinnia seeds. Zinnias are such fabulous plants and we're going to grow them this year. We've not grown them for many years and we thought we'd re-enlighten ourselves with this wonderful plant. Zinnias are native to Mexico, which kind of gives you an idea of the kind of conditions that they like. They like lots and lots of sun and well draining soil. In the UK we grow them here as half hardy annuals, so we need to provide protection and we need to make sure when these go out in the garden that they are frost free, because any kind of frost will just kill them off. They cope really good with drought, so if we get a really hot summer, fingers crossed, they'll be fine. We're going to grow them in containers instead of growing them in borders, but they are good to grow either in borders and also in containers. They bring a lovely flash of colour and they're really good for pollinators as well. The flowers can come in beautiful shades of pastel colours as well as the vibrant colours too. And the flowers come as double, semi-double or single flowers, many of them looking very similar to the flower from dahlias. They make wonderful cut flowers lasting quite a long time in a vase, and they're one of those plants that the more you cut, the more they produce flowers. The flowers will start to come around July time and they will keep flowering all the way up until the first frosts. Now with regards to sowing these, they can be sown direct, but you do have to wait until the weather is warm enough and the nights are also warm, because they dislike any kind of cold whatsoever. So in this country we're looking towards the end of May, beginning of June, but to get a head start we like to sow these indoors under cover with some protection, and because they dislike root disturbance it's a really good idea to sow them in module trays. So that's what I've got here today. I've got multi-purpose compost, peat free, in these module trays, and we're going to sow one seed in each module, and then when they get big enough and they've filled this little container, what we can be doing then is popping them out and growing them on into larger pots. But it does mean that the roots are not disturbed and you're saving the pricking out procedure, which they do not like. They do not like those roots being dislodged and moved around too much. So let's get on and start sowing these seeds. I've got 3 seeds I'm going to be sowing today, 3 different varieties of beautiful zinnias, all slightly different. And the first one I'm going to do is a variety called Whirlygig mixed. Now I like the name of this one, so that's one of the reasons why I chose it, and it's also a lovely colour combination. So this one is Whirlygig mixed. It's got beautiful, gorgeous, bright semi-cactus like flowers with contrasting petal tips, and this one grows to a maximum of 60 centimetres tall, so it's great for the front of the border or also great for pots. So these are absolutely splendid, and to look at the colours of these on the front of the packet is just spectacular. They are beautiful. You've got the raspberry, the cream, the darker pink, the orange. They're just lovely. So I'm just going to get these out of the packet. So zinnia seeds are nice to handle. They're quite a large seed in terms of seed size, so we can easily station sow them. So I'm just going to take them out to my hand. So the seeds look quite interesting, different sizes, different shapes, quite long ones, some smaller ones. So they're quite easy to handle. So we're just going to grab each one and place that into one of the modules. So I'm just placing one into each one of these modules. Now last time we sowed zinnia seeds was back when we lived in Sheffield, so we're going back quite a number of years. And I do remember we did have lots and lots of beautiful flowers, and we grew these at the front of the house in pots because that used to get a lot of sunshine. And the front garden itself, the ground of the front garden was quite clay, so we didn't want to put them in there. We grew them as pot plants in containers. So with a bit of vermiculite, I'm just going to scatter those over the top. I'm just taking enough so that the seeds are no longer in view. Now I know Andrew's going to be really happy with these because he does like his cut flowers for the house. So these are going to be perfect. And then once they're covered over, if we just give them a press down, just so we can make good contact with the seed and the compost below. And we'll put those to one side. So I've already got a label already in the tray, so I know which one's which. I'll just put those to one side and we're on to the next one. So the next one is it's called a Dahlia flowering one, this one. So Dahlia flowered Scarlet Flame, and this is quite an open flower, so the bees and the butterflies are going to really love this one. And this is like a scarlet, beautiful bright scarlet colour, and it grows to a height of around 75 centimetres. So I've got a whole tray. I'm going to sow of these as well. So again, the seeds are very similar to the previous variety I've just sown. And again, I'm just going to place one in each of these modules. I don't think that one's a seed, that looks like a piece of something else. A few more. So with the 2 packets that I've just sown, you get about 75 seeds with the packets that I've purchased. So you get plenty of seeds. Plenty enough to last for another year or so. And then again with the vermiculite, I'm just going to cover the seeds over. And if you don't have vermiculite, you can always just use some more compost. It's not imperative that vermiculite's used. It's just preference to what I like to use. And then we'll press those down. And then on to the last one, and this is another mix, but this is more of a subtle kind of mix, and it's quite a nice one called Queeny mixed. Now this one is a height of around 80 centimetres, but this is quite spectacular because these ones are another large doubled flowered mix, but they have various shades of red fading to lime with a magenta centre. So that just sounds beautiful. And the picture on the front with the vase full of these flowers is just spectacular. The way that they fade to that lovely lime colour is lovely. So this packet of seeds says there's only 15 in this one. So I've got a tray here, but I won't be filling it with the same ones. So I need to make sure that I get all these out of here. That's all there. So again, one in each module. So that's exactly 15. And then we'll get those covered up with more vermiculite. And then while I've got a few extra spaces, what I might do is, let's have a look. I really like the Whirlygig one, so I'm going to just put some more of them in these available ones here. And I'm just going to get another label here, just so I know where one starts and one finishes. I love that name, Whirlygig. So I can place that there, and that way I know that these last few modules are the Whirlygig mixed. So with regards to the watering, I'm going to water these from beneath, so I'll place these in a tray of water, and that will then drive up the water into the compost and soak the seeds thoroughly. So that's 3 varieties of Zinnia that we're really looking forward to seeing in flower later on in the year, and we'll keep you updated with how we get on with growing these. So with regards to where these go next, we need to make sure these are kept somewhere indoors. So if you have a greenhouse, that's fine. Indoors on our kitchen window ledge is probably going to be the place where these are going to go. Now that some of our plants have germinated, the ones we've sown previously, we're having to move them out into the mini greenhouses or into the summer house, and that frees up space now for these to be left inside and having that warmth. And these need to be hardened off before they get planted out into containers or into the garden, and that will just make sure that they're tough enough then to acclimatise themselves to outdoors. When the seedlings get growing and they get to about 3 sets of leaves, it's then a good time to pinch them out. So pinch out the growing tip, and that will just encourage a bushier plant, and that will mean more flowers in the end. So that's what we want, more flowers. So just nip out that growing tip, and that will then bush the plant out. I do hope you found this video informative and enjoyable, and I do hope you'll be growing along, sowing these seeds with me this month. Please give us a like, please subscribe, and please drop any comments about growing these in the comments box below the video. We'll see you very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care and happy seed sowing.